and relaxed out for all the weekend. Anything else?
Wow, that's amazing. All right, well, let's please begin with this new model. And did you
Hey,
access the platform?
yes, teacher, I wanted to ask you something. When I try to access the here, because you have to go to the platform to my English lab and then put
Mhm.
join a course, isn't it?
Yes.
And there you put a code, the code that you gave me,
Hmm.
and it says me important. You can still access your previous completed activities, and it says me don't transfer grades or close.
Don't transfer grades.
Okay, don't transfer, and it says you do not have access to this product.
Oh, then you have to contact the coordinator.
Okay,
Or if you type in or if you select or choose the transfer grades, try with
okay,
both.
I will try. No, it's the same.
Really? Can you share your screen, please? So I can see
Okay.
it. Thank you. And we will see if it's a problem of grades or it's a problem of the grades or the platform.
Okay, here is the code.
Mhm.
You put join and don't transfer, and it says you do not have access to this product.
Mm, let me check on the code.
No,
That's the code, right?
yeah, it's the same thing.
Yes. U93E. Okay, don't worry. Well, in that case, you have to contact the coordinator, Lourdes, and you have to let her know that you have the code, you have everything, but you cannot access.
Okay, I will talk to her.
And she will open. I think they have to do like an opening access code whenever you can't, and they will do it for you.
Okay, then I will talk to them.
Yes, please. Okay, well, let's begin, please, with this new model, and we are starting module A10. And well, in this model, we are going to be basically talking first about vocabulary, and we are going to review antonyms. Well, here we have a list of them. Let's begin reading the first one: accurate, attractive, dependent, legal, likely, original, practical, regular, sane, suitable. And here we have their antonyms: unsuitable, illegal, independent, insane, irregular, unoriginal, unattractive, unlikely, impractical, and inaccurate. So from the column on the left, is there any doubts or questions about these words that you see here?
Yes, what does it mean suitable?
Suitable? Oh,
Yes.
that it means that goes, it's appropriate, convenient,
Okay, okay,
apropiado, conveniente.
okay.
Yes, that's
Thank you.
suitable. Any other word?
I understand all of them.
Perfect. So can you match, please, the column from the left with the column on the right? Would you match
Okay.
their antonyms? Thank you.
Okay. Before teacher, likely is like parecido.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. Then it will be accurate with inaccurate, attractive, unattractive, dependent, independent, legal, illegal, likely, unlikely, original, unoriginal, practical, impractical, regular, irregular, sane, insane, and suitable, unsuitable.
Yes, correct. Very good. And well, here we have the answers. And yes, it's the same as you said. So on this first part, in the vocabulary section, you are only going to be reviewing this vocabulary. Okay, this is all you're going to be seeing, nothing
Okay.
else. All right, let's please go on to grammar. Well, on grammar, we are going to be reviewing the simple present tense. Although this is a tense that we have seen before, in the different models ahead, you are going to be reviewing the verses. This is very important. Why? Because doing these kind of activities, we can know if the student has the important knowledge that he or she needs, okay, to continue moving forward. But in this case, first, we are going to be introducing these statements just individually, all right? But you are going to be seeing verses like simple present, present continuous, simple past, past perfect, and so on, okay? So let's please review this structure. Well, it is very important to remember that whenever we are talking about the simple present tense, we have two structures. The first one is with the verb to be, and the second one is with the auxiliaries, do and does. Also, it is very important to know that whenever we are going to be using the auxiliaries do and does, here we have this classification. So these three subjects, singular subjects, works with does, and the singular I and all the plural subjects work with do. Very important here that for positive statements, positive, we are going to be using verbs, okay? But the verb is going to suffer a modification at the end because most of them are going to be ending in S or ES or even IES, depending on the classification on the spelling on the verb. And this is only going to happen with the third person singular. So I will say he starts, she starts, she or it starts. And for the singular subject I and for all the plural subjects, I will just use the verb in the base form. So here we have examples given. I like it. The verb in the base form. Whenever I'm using the third person singular, she likes it. As we can see, the verb has suffered a modification. This is for affirmative statements. For negatives, as I said before, we are going to be using these two auxiliaries. You can either use the complete form, does not, or the contracted form, doesn't. The same with do not or don't. You can either use this one or this one. Both of them are okay. And well, the difference here between the affirmative is that in the negative and question form, we are only going to be using the verb in the base form. Why? Because we are using the auxiliary and the function on these auxiliaries is to modify the verb. In this case, this one does is modifying the verb. Therefore, I don't need to add an S. So I will only say he does not start practicing soccer, for example. And here we have two other examples. I do not like it or I don't like it. She does not like it. She doesn't like it. Very important again. For negative statements and questions, the verb must be in the base form. But for affirmative, we are going to be doing this modification, S, ES, or IES. So maybe you will say, when do we change these verbs? How do I know? Well, we have this rule. I don't know if we have seen these rules with you before. We did or not?
Yes, I think we did.
I think that yes, right at the beginning when we were doing model 7 or so. But nevertheless, in the simple present tense, third person singular, talking specifically about he, she, it, we are going to be adding S, ES, or IES to the verb. According to this classification, we add S, ES to verbs that end in CH, SH, SS, X, or O. So, for example, from teach, we will say teaches. So, he, she teaches. Wash, washes. Eat, washes. Kiss, kisses. He, she, it, kisses. Fix, fixes. Go, goes. For verbs that end in Y, we are going to eliminate Y and add IES. So from fly, flight, try, tries, cry, cries, study, studies, carry, carries. And to all of the rest of the verbs that don't follow either the second rule or the first one, then we just add S. So walk, walks, love, loves, swim, swims, play, plays, and sit, sits. And this is the rule that you have to apply to all of the verbs whenever you are making statements in the simple present tense. Affirmative, specifically. And for questions, what happens in questions? As I told you before, the verb must be in the base form always because we are using the auxiliaries. That's why we don't have to modify the verb. So, does she start exercising today? Do you go to the supermarket on the weekend? And the two possible answers: yes, she does. No, she doesn't. Yes, you do. No, you don't. And of course, we can apply WH questions too. Yes, we can apply WH questions. WH question words can apply to all the grammar tenses, present, future, and past. So I can say, where does she go? She goes to the gym. What do you like to eat? I like to eat fruits. All right. And well, this is it for the simple present tense. Do you have any doubts or questions about this grammar structure?
No, I understand all.
Perfect. Let's please begin with the practices then.
Okay.
There you go. That's the first one.
Okay, I'll let you know.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, did your life already finished?
Great. And how did you do?
I think good. I got 10 out of 10.
Amazing. I sent you already the second practice.
Okay, I'll let you know.
All right. Thank you.
Teacher, it says that the results are already.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. So you cannot access?
No, it says like redoble de tambores and that kind of stuff. It
Oh,
says
all right. All right.
play
All right.
podium.
Let me check, please. I will be sending you the link right now. Okay. Give me 1 second.
Okay, don't worry.
There you go. It's a second link. Please, Leandro. Thank you.
Okay, I'll let you know. Okay, teacher, I've already finished.
Great. And how did you do?
I think great. I just got one wrong.
Amazing. Let's please continue and move forward. Well, next we are going to be reviewing the present continuous tense. And well, as you know, whenever we talk about a continuous action, we are talking basically about a verb in the ing form, in the German form. And for the present continuous tense, you have to use the verb to be am is are, followed by the verb in the ing form. And well, we know that each and one of the verbs that form the to be belong and work with a specific subject. And well, here we have an example using the present continuous tense, an affirmative example. He is working in the garden. I can also say she is working in the office. I am working in an assignment. They are working on a project. And well, don't forget subject, verb to be, verb in the ing form, and the complement. So, negative. For the negative form, the only thing we do is add not to the verb to be. So I will say I'm not, is not or isn't, are not or aren't. And well, here we have a given example. He is not working in the garden. He isn't working in the garden. Both of them, the complete form or contracted form, are okay. You can use either of them. And for making these changes in the verb to be, sorry, in the verb, in the main action of the sentence, we are going to follow, again, some rules. But before we follow and we review those rules, we are going to be checking on questions. The way on how we structure questions is basically placing the verb to be before the subject and then followed by the verb in the ing form. So an affirmative example is this one. He is working in the garden. To make it question, we just invert positions. Verb to be before the subject, subject, verb in the ing form, and complement. Is he working in the garden? Yes, he is. No, he isn't. Okay. And what are the rules? Well, we have to follow three important rules. The first one is to all of the verbs that end in E, eliminate E and add ing, ing, ing. All the verbs that follow the next structure, consonant, vowel, consonant, the CBC rule, we just double the last consonant and add ing. So from get, getting, run, running, swim, swimming. And here, these are the three most important. We have some verbs that follow the CBC rule, but if the verb is going to be ending in W, X, or Y, we are not going to double the last consonant. Okay, so basically this is the exception of the second rule. So here we see CBC, but we are not doubling. CBC, but we don't double. CBC, but we don't double. All right. And to the rest of the words and verbs that have two consonants together, ing, two vowels together, ing, because they're not following either the first, second, or third rule. All right, so those three are the most important rules. And can we apply the WH question to the present continuous tense? Yes, of course. We can say, what are you doing tonight? Oh, I'm having pizza with my friends. What are they cooking? They're cooking spaghetti. Okay, to get and to obtain more specific answers. Doubts or questions about the present continuous, Land?
Teacher, yes, this person continues. You can use like to say your plans. As you said, I'm having dinner.
Exactly. And this structure is going to be reflected onto the future. It starts in the present. For example, what are you going to eat tonight? That's no, that's a question for the future. And if you think
Yes.
I am going to eat or we are going to eat I don't know, lasagna, pizza, whatever, we are talking about a near future, right? Tonight.
Yes.
Mhm. So these are going to be statements that are going to be talked or said in the present, but they tend to reflect onto the future because
Um,
tonight it will be the future, right?
yes.
Hmm.
Okay, I understand. Thank you.
Perfect. All right. Well, let's please work on these practices. There you go. That's the first one. And this is the second one. Okay.
Okay, I will let you know.
Thank you.
Okay, teacher, I've already finished.
Great. And how did you do?
I think good. I didn't get any wrong. I think because this page I just like use the abbreviation of are not like aren't, and this page it and put marks that bad, like if it's wrong. But you did.
Oh, okay. Yeah, maybe because it was requesting to just type in the complete form. But don't worry, if you wrote the contraction form, it's fine still. All right, I sent you the second link as well for the Kahoot challenge.
Okay, I'll let you know though.
All right, thank you.
Okay, did you have already finished?
Great. And how did you do?
I think what I got some wrong, and I have a question.
Tell me.
And the last rule that it says do not double the letters. No, the last rules that is, I think that is a special case is with the verb shop. There we have to double the consonant, isn't it? The last, then the p. It will be shopping.
Yes, of course, because it doesn't apply to this rule, right? Only the words and the verbs that end in W, X, or Y don't double. The rest double.
Okay,
Mhm. Yes,
okay,
these
yeah,
three are the like the exceptions we can say, right?
okay, yeah,
So
okay, yeah,
W, X, or Y don't double, but the rest double.
okay, yeah. Understand. Thank you.
Perfect. Let's please continue. And well, we are going to be reviewing another basic structure that is the simple past tense. And for the simple past tense, also, we have to remember that we have two grammar tenses. The one in the verb to be in the past, which is was or were, and the other one with verbs in the simple past and with the auxiliary did. Well, as you can see here, the difference is that in this one, we are the verb in like in the sentence, the action is the verb to be. So was, were only, but here is infinite, right? It can be any verb. So here we have an affirmative example. They were friends. And we have to remember that were, we use it for plural subjects and was for singular subjects. Here, she worked yesterday. As we can see here, we are using the verb belonging to the second column of the verb list in the simple past. And we don't have to remember also that we have two classifications on the verb list. We have regular verbs and irregular verbs. Regular verbs are the ones that are going to always end in D or ED, whereas irregulars are the ones that are going to change their writing. For example, see in the simple past, saw, swim, swam, give, gave. So they change their writing, their spelling. For the negative form, we are going to be adding not to the verb to be. So was not or wasn't, were not or weren't. And here we have an example given. They weren't friends. And for the negative form, with verbs, we are going to be using the auxiliary did not or didn't. And my verb is going to be in the base form. Why? Because my auxiliary is going to modify the verb. So I will say, she didn't work yesterday because this auxiliary is changing this verb into the past. And for questions is the same. We are going to be placing the auxiliary before the subject and then the verb in the base form and the complement. And again, my verb is in the base form. Why? Because of the auxiliary. This auxiliary, like the function on this, is to modify the verb in the translation. Okay, that's why we use the verb in the base form in negative and question examples. What happens here? Was and were followed by the subject. Well, here, as we are using the verb to be, only place the verb to be before the subject and then the complement. Were they friends? Yes, they were. No, they weren't. Did she work yesterday? Yes, she did. No, she didn't. I can also apply WH questions like, where were you yesterday? I was in the garden. Or, where did she work last year? She worked in a university. All right. So whenever you want to acquire or get more specific information about something, you are going to be applying the WH question word. And well, as you know, we can use the simple past tense to express completed actions in the past. Like I saw a ghost last Friday. To describe series of completed actions in the past, like, please, can you read on this example?
Okay. I finished work, walked to the beach, and found a nice place to swim.
Perfect. And also to express habits in the past.
Okay. When I was young, I watched a lot of television every day after school.
Great. Wonderful. So is there any doubt or question that you may have about the simple past tense?
And now I think that I understand.
All right. Very good. Let's please work on the practice. There you go. That's the practice. Please work on it and let me know when you're done.
Okay, I'll let you know.
All right. Thank you.
Okay, did you have already finished?
Great. And how did you do?
I think good. I got 10 out of 10.
Amazing. So on this Kahoot challenge that I'm sending you, you are going to be reviewing the three grammar tenses that we have seen before. Simple
Okay.
present, present continuous, and simple past.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Okay, did you have already finished?
Great. And how did you do?
I think good. I didn't get any wrong.
Amazing. So that means that the three grammar tenses, everything checked, everything correct. Okay. Well, on our next class, we are going to be working on this conversation practice as well as the other grammar tenses. Okay. So as you
Okay.
were able to see, this first unit and this model is going to be basically a review on all the basic grammar tenses that we have learned in the previous models. So we can start into the verses and into the present perfect tenses. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So I will be opening all the assignments from unit number 1 today. So you can maybe start with vocabulary and some of the grammar and pronunciation as well. Okay.
Okay, that sounds good.
All right. Very good. There you go. Please answer the survey, and that will be all for today. Thank you.
Okay, there you go. Okay,
All
teacher,
right. Thank you very
then
much.
have a great day.
The same for you.
See you tomorrow, teacher.
See you tomorrow. Goodbye.
Goodbye.